Hello, welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Batholkus, and this is Saturday Morning Blast Off. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, it is a Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. No, I'm kidding. It's not all Star Wars, but it is all Disney for that matter. It's a lot of Disney news because it is D23 that's going on right now. And as I was saying earlier in the chat, it's kind of like you know, San Diego Comic-Con in a way, because you're just getting all this information just shoved at you, but it's all Disney centric. Which that's the reason why I would never pay to go there, because it's just all Disney centric rather than Comic-Con, which is from all over the place. And all kinds of information is released, from comics to TV shows to movies, things like that. And that to me is a bit more bang for your buck than being trapped at Disneyland. Yeah. Granted, it's across the street from Disney. Well, no, it's actually at Disneyland. I take that back. So, yeah, I would not want to be stuck there myself. Even though I'm not that far away, I'm probably like an hour and a half drive out. But still, again, that's an hour and a half drive out of my way. But you're not here to listen to that. You're here for Saturday Morning Blast Off. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to wait for some more people to trickle in before I actually get to the big news. So let's see here. We got October 18th. Netflix is going to premiere an 8-episode series starring Paul Rudd called Living with Yourself. And what this whole thing's supposed to be about is a man who goes into a day spa to, as they say, we'll make you a new you kind of thing. And really what they do is they clone him and make a better version of himself. And he realizes that this better version of himself is trying to take over, his wife, his family, all this kind of stuff, his job, and he kind of has to fight for it. And yeah. Yes, I know we saw this back in the 90s, I believe it was, with Michael Keaton. Multiplicity, I believe is what it was called. Yeah. But it's Paul Rudd this time. So yeah, a little bit different. Big news. What big news, Viking bitch? Are you talking about the other big news? Well, I'm waiting for some people to trickle in a little bit more, and then we'll get to the big news stuff. So yeah, you're asking me. Well, I'm getting to the big news. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about there. So, but I will get to big news. Yes. I'm just starting off with some of the smaller stuff first until we get some people to come in. Noah Hawley is producing the Bridgewater Triangle as a series for FX. So the Bridgewater Triangle is supposed to be about an incident that takes place in this weird area in, I believe it's the northeast of the country, and it's based on some books, I believe is what it is. And he's going to be producing this. He is working a lot more for FX than I thought he was at the time, but that's cool. I mean, yeah, I think that will actually work. It's the same as it is every time, Mr. Roboto. It's vanilla iced chai is what it is. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what it's going to be like. I'll give it a watch. I mean, he's just producing it. He's not. I'm more interested in Cat's Cradle that he's going to be doing, the Kurt Vonnegut, series. Not series, I should say, novella, which looks a lot more interesting. Yes, it is a Captain Cold figure behind me, Mr. Roboto, and a Cronin figure and a T1000 figure, or a T800 figure, excuse me. Yes, I switch things out every now and then. So let's see here. Let's get to the big news. Sony has pulled Spider-Man out of the MCU. Now, this all came about because there was a breakdown in talks between Sony and Disney over financial terms. So Sony, of course, owns the right to Spider-Man and like 900 other characters that are, I'm not kidding you, literally 900 other characters that are linked to Spider-Man. as a result of this, Disney and Sony had partnered on the last two Spider-Man movies, and of course, bringing Spider-Man into the MCU for things like Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, all that kind of stuff. And it was it wasn't to Disney's benefit. Disney, I think, got merchandising plus 5%, I believe is what they got, and they want to do a 50-50 split. Sony was like, no, you're going to live with your merchandising and your 5%. That's all we're going to do. And Disney's like, no, we're not going to do that because we have a whole other thing that's going on right now with X-Men and Fantastic Four, and that's what we want Kevin Feige to be focused on, not on what's going on with Spider-Man. So they pretty much said, you do what you want. We're not going to deal with it. We're not going to produce your films anymore. And talks broke down, and Sony's like, well, fine. Then we're going to take our toys and we're going home. And they took Spider-Man and left. And that's the long and the short of it. Do you think Sony is getting a good deal? I don't care about this Spider-Man. Actually, I like this Spider-Man a lot more than I did Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield sucked balls. I mean, he was horrible in it. I like Tobey Maguire in the first two outings. The third outing was a shit show because Sony tried to put too much into it and Sam Raimi wasn't into it. And you got a shitty movie as a result. If you try and force your creative stuff to, creative team to do stuff that they don't want to do just because you want marketing to be able to sell more toys, you're going to get a shitty product. I care nothing for Spider-Man, but I really liked Into the Spider-Verse. I would love more. You're going to get more of the Into the Spider-Verse. That was the whole thing. They were leading to the Spider-Verse with this. That's what Doctor Strange is going to do. Doctor Strange is going to open up that whole multiverse thing. That's what that movie is supposed to be. They are going to be doing this in Disney Plus series. They are going to be talking about the multiverse and bringing stuff in. You were probably going to see at some point a Miles Morales. You're probably going to see Spider-Gwen. I don't think you would see a live-action Spider-Ham, but there's going to be a lot of stuff. Yeah. How do I feel about this? I think Sony is making a huge fucking mistake doing this. There's no way they're ever going to make another $1 billion movie, a $1 billion Spider-Man movie, I should say. There is no way in hell they're ever going to get $1 billion again. That was Kevin Feige working on that with them. And I put the blame squarely on Amy Pascal and Avery Arad for doing this. And they're just being greedy. They're being greedy and petty little bitches is what they're doing. And Amy Pascal's been doing this for a long time. She has been needling Kevin Feige all along this whole trip. And he's been bristling. You see it. If you ever see them together in videos, you see he does not like her at all. And she is pushing buttons as much as she can. And then Avery Arad is trying to get his son in there, Ari Arad. Yeah, it's kind of hard to, when you only have one letter difference between you and your son. But yeah. So he's trying to shoehorn him into this as well via nepotism. It's all just a big shit show, is really what it is. And quite honestly, I hope Sony crashes and burns. That's all it is. And that way Disney can take take Spider-Man back. Because, at this point, Sony's just being assholes. Hey, Ed Brewer. And Kajani Gulkosh. Have I talked about the Kenobi series? I have not. Yeah. Right now I'm talking about Spider-Man. And Spider-Man in the MCU no more. What else do we have there? So I talked about, the reason why Disney's just like, yeah, fuck it. We're not going to do this anymore. They just don't want Kevin Feige distracted from, rebooting the X-Men or relaunching the X-Men, I should say, in the MCU, and also Fantastic Four as well. Also, John Watts, who directed the last two Spider-Man movies, who did a great job directing those last two Spider-Man movies. He's not under contractual obligations with Sony. And supposedly Disney's going to take him in and have him direct Marvel movies from now on. So not only is Sony losing the Disney backing, the Marvel backing, the Marvel universe, also they're losing Kevin Feige as producer and creative consultant, because he's the one that's actually been doing a lot of creative consulting on these movies. But you're also losing your director for the first two films. Yeah. So this is all one gigantic shit sandwich that Sony has made. Yeah, there's Inhumans is irreparably damaged, Mr. Roboto, by ABC Studio. That's another story altogether. And that's Jeff Loeb. Jeff Loeb needs to go away. Maybe he needs to go over to Sony and work on the Spider-Man movies as they are going to be now, and get out of Disney's line of fire. The Venom movie was okay. It was weird, but it was okay if you don't count it as a Marvel movie, quite honestly. The end was kind of stupid, but the rest of it was okay. It's something that I paid to see it in the theater. I wouldn't have paid to see it in the theater, quite honestly. It wasn't worth a theater ticket. And yeah, it is weird to do a Venom movie without Spider-Man. I agree with you, considering that, well, you're never going to get the original story of Venom with the alien symbiote suit and all that kind of stuff. You're not going to get that. So what they did in Venom with the comet with, or the other world with all the different symbiotes on it, which is another comic, or excuse me, I think it was actually the cartoon did that at one point. And that was a different version of Venom, how they came about doing it. So they didn't have to deal with Secret Wars. So yeah, it was okay. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to what they're going to be doing next, especially with Spider-Man outside. And the thing is, everyone goes, oh, this is going to hurt the MCU. No, it's not. The MCU has a shitload of characters. One little character outside of their universe, they don't need to really deal with it and go, yeah, he's in New York someplace. They don't need to mention him by name. Yeah, well, the MCU isn't bulletproof, Temarux. They're only as good as Kevin Feige is there. And then after him, whenever he's gone, they've got to get somebody in there who knows it just as well. Look at the Star Wars franchise. The Star Wars franchise went to shit. Granted, you could say it went to shit during the prequels, episodes 1, 2, and 3, because of Lucas, but you need somebody who actually likes the universe, understands the universe, and can work well with other people and set up a universe, like Dave Filoni. Same thing with, you have the same thing going on over at Warner Brothers with the whole DCU. The DCEU, I should say. The DCEU is all fucked up as well, because they don't have a central person overseeing everything. They don't have a Kevin Feige. They don't have somebody who understands it. And quite honestly, they need a Bruce Timm over there is what they need. And that's what you're seeing more and more, as you have these large, all-encompassing properties that you're not having it managed well. It's like having a property manager, quite honestly. Yeah, you need to have a manager who's going to oversee that condo complex that you got there, that you own, and is going to do a good job of dealing with all the stuff in there, and is willing to actually put into work to do this, and likes doing what they're doing. Yeah, you could see exactly what happened, Marks, with, if you take a look at Star Wars Land. Star Wars Land killed Disneyland fairly recently. Their attendance is down. Also, they shot themselves in the foot by raising prices as much as they did. What is it now? It's like $200 to get in. And then, if you want to eat a pretzel, I think it's $80 for a pretzel, $40 for a bottle of water. All that. You can't bring that shit in. You can't bring a bottle of water in. They make you dump it at the door. It's like TSA. You have to buy everything there. Yeah. And that's, you have a combination of things. So Disney isn't also all that smart about some of their shit that they do. Whose birthday is it? Funabi? I don't remember. Star Wars Land, terrible name. Also, no, it's not a good pretzel, Mr. Roboto. It's like a shitty, it's like a mall pretzel. So, yeah. But they are doing Marvel Land. Yeah, they released that at Disney at D23 as well. Is that they're doing Marvel Land? It's kind of funny because in the 90s, Marvel had such financial trouble that they sold off the rights to their characters for rides to Orlando, Florida. I forget what to Universal. That's what it was. Universal Orlando, Florida, and in perpetuity, excuse me. So they are never getting those rights back to those characters for those rides. So they're not opening up a Marvel Land in Florida at all because of Universal. But they are opening one here in Anaheim. They're going to open one in Paris. They're opening one in Hong Kong. And I forget what else they're opening up. They're opening up a hotel as well, something that has to do with Star Wars. It's a small world after all. Yeah, you get stuck on that ride when it breaks down. That's not fun. But yeah, Sony, Marvel, Disney, Spider-Man. That's all I can say. So I talked about this last week. He was supposedly in talks last week, but it's now official that Ewan McGregor is returning as Obi-Wan for a Disney Plus series that takes place after Revenge of the Sith. So what does that mean? That means we're going to watch Obi-Wan sitting in a cave, stroking his beard. That's pretty much it. Because he's on Tatooine, supposedly looking over Luke, baby Luke, who's on a moisture farm with his aunt and uncle. Yeah, that's all it is. Actually, I'm okay with this. It's fine. Ewan McGregor is actually a good actor. I'm glad to see him come back to this, and I really would have rather seen him come back as a movie rather than a TV show or TV series. But that's fine. What's a moisture farm? Go and watch Star Wars: A New Hope, Mr. Roboto, and you'll see what a moisture farm is. Aren't they doing a Boba Fett movie too? They're not doing a Boba Fett movie, Tamarox. What they're doing is The Mandalorian TV series, which has also been announced. That's actually what's launching Disney Plus on November 12th. Excuse me. Yeah, you're right, Viking bitch. So basically, what Disney Plus did in the last 2 days is they set up an entire plan of what they're going to do to bend Netflix over and take it from behind. Netflix is pretty much going to be losing. I'll say, I'll be conservative. I'll say it's 25% of their user base. Quite honestly. Yeah, it's just so much content. And quite honestly, I have Netflix right now. Yes, I'm watching Wu Assassins, but I'm not really watching anything else. It's like I remember I have Netflix and I'm like, oh yeah, there's Netflix. I've got this I can watch. And then I start looking through Netflix and I'm like, there really is nothing I can watch because I'm not really interested in some of the shit that's here. And yeah, exactly. Some people ditch Netflix for Amazon Prime. I have Amazon Prime just because of the shipping stuff and all that stuff. So I get the movies, and the TV shows. And quite honestly, the stuff on Amazon Prime isn't all that great. There's some stuff that's good, like The Boys and, well, now canceled Tick and things like that. But there's not enough stuff there to really call them a streaming service, if you will. And that's pretty much what Disney has done. They're going, look, we are putting together this entire library of things and shows, new shows as well, new content, and we are going to plunk it down as a already ready to go streaming service that will rival Netflix, that will have more than Netflix does. Netflix is 3 months a year. Every 4 months, I'll get a month and binge. Yeah, see? You need a balance of creative and business, but creative, a good story and characters doesn't always sell tickets. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's there's so much stuff that's vying for our time. I mean, a lot of us have day jobs, and there's video games, there's internet, there's life in general too. I mean, you want to get out and do things as well. That reminds me, I've got a Jack Daniels tasting I'm going to tonight. So yes. Speaking of things to do outside of the house, and adding something for $12.99. My time is reserved for suspended animation and math homework. Nice, Morks. Thank you for penciling me in there. And that's the other thing too. You have stuff like this, YouTube, that's going on. So, Dennis, take my breath away, nerd, playing on the speakers at the shop I'm in. Oh, really? Thanks. Nice one. You think Disney Plus will do new seasons of Daredevil or Jessica Jones? They're going to recast. Camrocks. They've already said they're going to recast. I don't drink coffee, Mr. Roboto. So nope, there isn't. Yeah. Yeah, Tamrox, I totally think that they've already talked about that they're going to recast this. So that brings me to some of the other stuff that Disney Plus has announced. They are also going to be doing, they've just announced She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and Miss Marvel are all coming to Disney Plus, all in their own different series, their own specific series. She-Hulk has its own series, Moon Knight has its own series, Miss Marvel has its own series. That's on top of your Loki series, your WandaVision series, the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, and yeah, I mean that's a shitload of content. That is a shitload of content. And if they're going to be doing it where they're going to be releasing an episode a week, like the Disney Universe or DC Universe model, which by the way is really smart. So that's the other thing that Netflix does is they will dump an entire season all at once of, one of their like Woo Assassins, and then expect you to, just kind of binge it. Well, quite honestly, that's not working anymore. That whole thing of yes, it works for for a contingent of people. Some people will binge things. Some people will watch one episode a week, that kind of thing. It works a lot better and keeps your series more vibrant and in people's minds when you have a new episode coming out once a week. Yes, that old adage of make people want more, you leave them wanting more so they come back, always works. And it's going to work for streaming. I've said this before and I will say it again. And that's what Disney Plus is going to be doing. That only sounds interesting as Moon Knight, and he is utterly out of his mind or really. Well, that's the whole thing. You're not going to get an R-rated Moon Knight out of this, Mr. Roboto. It's not going to be. There's some shit in Moon Knight that's really. I mean, he's cut off people's faces in the comic. You're not going to get that on Disney Plus. Now I can hear you. Can't type. Dance, nerd monkey. No, I'm not going to dance. But a PG, yeah, it's going to be a PG-13 Moon Knight, Ed Brewer. That's exactly what it's going to be. I really doubt there's going to be any R-rated content. That's going to be the thing that's going to shoot Disney Plus in the foot. Again, is that they are not going to do R-rated content. They're going to do PG-13 content, and that's going to be it. So Disney Plus After Dark. No, they're not going to do Disney Plus After Dark. Yeah. It was kind of funny when they announced the whole the Star Wars themed hotel that you're supposed to be aboard a Star Cruiser or something like that. And they're showing concept art of it, and they show a casino, and they have these Twilight servers and things like that. And someone in the comment section of the place that I was looking at it go, Twilight hookers sold. And that was the first thing that came to mind too when I saw that. And I was like, okay, man, that's you get a star for that one. That was what I was thinking as well. But yeah, it's not going to happen, of course, because Disney isn't going to go that way. Disney Dark can go to Hulu. Yeah, Disney owns Hulu as well. Ed Brewer. And well, I take that back. So they are in partnership with Comcast right now. So it's a 50-50 partnership on Hulu. They have the option to buy in 2024 the whole thing from Comcast, which in 2024, guess what you're going to hear in the news is that Disney owns Hulu. Yeah. And also part of the deal was that Disney got ESPN Plus from Fox out of that whole Fox Disney deal. So they're bundling that together. So it's going to be Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus all in one for $12.99 a month. That's actually not a bad deal, except for the ESPN Plus. I don't give a shit about the sports that are on there, quite honestly. Football is dead. I'm sorry. It really is dead. It's a dumb fucking sport. So is baseball. Baseball is like watching paint dry, quite honestly. And basketball, what is it? They have 18 months out of the year they play basketball. It seems like it never ends. So, yeah. Sorry, I don't live in the Corn Belt, Mr. Roboto, so I don't have to rely on football for my entertainment and shooting guns out in the middle of nowhere. I actually live in a urban environment, so I can actually go and find things to entertain myself with that don't involve, kids butting their heads against each other and getting brain damage. Are you sure about ESPN? Twitter promoting Nat Geo. The Nat Geo is in that as well. They're kind of downplaying the ESPN Plus, but they've already announced that yes, it is going to be Disney Plus, so the Disney Plus is supposed to be Star Wars, Marvel, Nat Geo, all that stuff, all into one location. That's all under Disney Plus. Then you have Hulu and you have ESPN Plus. Most enjoy sports from time to time because you might lose the sport. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Quite honestly, Mr. Roboto. They're not coming here for sports ball. That's for damn sure because I don't talk about it. So, yeah, I think they wanted to move Fonobi. I really think they wanted to sell off the ESPN Plus because that's been a money loser for them, and that's the reason why they are bundling it together. They're like, well, we might as well get something out of it. We'll bundle it in with Hulu and Disney Plus. Everyone's going to come for the Disney Plus and the Hulu, and they're not going to give a shit about ESPN Plus, and we'll just make money that way. Disney Plus ad supported $6.99 is a low price point. Yeah, I agree with you, Ed. It's not bad, but Hulu is also only, what is it? I want to say it's like $4.99 now. They lowered the price fairly recently on Hulu. So you think $7 and $5, that's $12. You might as well throw in the extra 99 cents and you get them both bundled together and you get the ESPN Plus on top of that. You're already paying for it anyway. So you might as well just get the whole bundle. But it is very much ad supported for that Hulu package. Yeah. I agree with you, Ed. And that's the other thing I don't like is if I'm paying you for a app package, I don't want ads. I really don't want ads. That's why I like DC Universe. DC Universe has no ads. I watch what I want to watch and I get through it. and it's $8 a month, right? $7.99 a month. That's actually a nice price point right there to not have any ads. I would actually say $6.99 without ads would be a good price. I don't know, Ed Brewer. I don't know if that's going to be ad supported with that whole package. And if Disney Plus is smart, they won't have ads. I think it's supposed to be ad free, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, they're already gouging the shit out of anybody anyway who goes to their theme parks and whatnot. I would be surprised if they did put ads in. So let's see what else I got here. So speaking of Falcon and Winter Soldier, who I was talking about earlier, Wyatt Russell is set to join the cast of the Falcon and Winter Soldier as John Walker. Now, for those of you who don't know, John Walker is also known as U.S. Patriot. U.S. Patriot is supposed to be the Captain America replacement. Yeah, not to be confused with USA Agent. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I don't know if he's a hero or a villain in this at all, but that's going to be a very interesting add-on. And considering that we have the creator and writer for John Wick in the writing room for that, it's going to be pretty damn good. What's the difference between the two, Mr. Roboto? One was U.S. Patriot was actually a good guy for a while there. He ended up turning bad at one point in time. But USA Agent was a fucking drug-addicted, psychotic. Think of Homelander only as Captain America. I'll bet they have ads for their own content minimum. I hope 1 hour shows have no breaks. Yeah, exactly, Move for Nobi. Again, like DC Universe. DC Universe has 1 hour shows. They have no breaks. They have no ads in it. Amazon does the same thing. Amazon Prime will show an ad before your content starts, and it's usually for an Amazon show that they're trying to pitch. Like right now, it's Carnival Row that they're pitching. And by the way, I'm hearing Carnival Row sucks balls. We'll see next week because that's what I'm going to be covering. It's Carnival Row. Actually, not next week, the week after. Yeah. So let's get to some of the other news here. So speaking of Spider-Man, this whole Save Spider-Man campaign has sprung up, of course, because why not? More petitions to sign, things like that. But the best Spider-Man campaign that we've gotten so far, Save Spider-Man campaign, came from a very unlikely source. This just cracked me up. It's Durex Condoms. Durex Condoms actually tweeted out a Spider-Man logo picture. It's basically the eyes in the in the background, the web background, the webbed background, but the eyes are upside down with a little tear coming out, dripping down, and it says, "The end came too soon. The feeling is mutual," and then it has hashtag Save Spider-Man. I don't know about you, but that made me fucking laugh. That is some genius advertising right there. And yeah, laugh out loud. The condoms will save Spider-Man. Possibly. Neat. Think Spider-Man. Think condoms. Great camp. Yeah. The thing is, I mean, honestly, yeah, I was gonna make a joke about comic fans not getting sex and all that kind of stuff, but you know what? That's an old fucking stereotype, quite honestly. So the end came too soon. Yeah, exactly, Viking bitch. Yeah, that's the double entendre that they've got going on. And that's actually pretty damn good. They did a great job. They did a really good job. And I mean, they were on it too. I mean, that was literally like hours after the news broke about it, and they put that out there. Exactly. Nerds get laid all the time. Exactly. I'm kind of surprised they don't have, like condoms with Spider-Man on them or Captain America or Thor. You have the yeah, look what I'm wielding, baby, the mighty Mjolnir. Yeah. Why does that come in a small size? I'm really kind of surprised they haven't done that. I mean, I know Star Wars has. Yes, with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, Thor condoms. Feel the lightning. Ride the lightning. There we go. Ride the lightning. There. I just came up with their logo. Their new ad campaign. Thor condoms. Ride the lightning. Feel the power of Thor between your legs. Yeah. Some of the stuff that they have. Although the Wolverine one would be kind of an iffy thing. I don't know, Metallica just sued you. Possibly. They sue everybody now. That little rat of lead singer that they have. Man. Yeah, I know. I miss my calling of being in advertising. I trust me. We've been talking about stuff at work, so we are in the middle of county compliance stuff. We've been in county compliance hell for a while, and it's how to market things, to people, to labs, to make them actually do what they're supposed to be doing all along. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Let's see what else we've got. We also have the Mandalorian trailer. The teaser trailer was released. Did everyone get a chance to see that? I posted it on my page, on the Facebook page, and it's up there. It's out in the wild, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's not awesome. It's a teaser trailer, for that matter. But I did like Werner Herzog at the end there, where he's talking about bounty hunting being a weird business. And quite honestly, just that little bit of Werner Herzog right there, I was like, I want to see fucking more of him, because I love Werner Herzog. He is a great director. He's a great actor. Having him in anything, he's just fun. He's really a lot of fun. Yeah, exactly, Mufinobi. There was no story or dialogue kind of put out there, like I said, except for Werner Herzog. And that was the only thing. I was kind of like, I want to see him. I want to see him is really I want to see. Man. Trailers in the Wild, a documentary. Yeah, Trailer Park. A lot of people have used that. You say Trailer Park. I'm definitely interested. Like I said, I really want. And Werner Herzog says he may or may not be playing a villain. I want to see him play a villain. And I think what we saw in that trailer was him playing a villain. Hey, Caleb Richardson. Well, I'm out $20. I 100% thought Kit Harington was Wolverine. Black Knight sounds dope. Black Knight? You mean Moon Knight? Is he going to be playing Black Knight? Is that it, Caleb? I didn't hear about that. I know that they said that Kit Harington was going to be in the MCU, but they didn't say who he's playing. I want the Mandalorian training montage with Apollo. You know what I want, Mufunobi, is I want him to be actually talking about what it takes to make a good stew from dewback bones or something like that, leftover dewback bones. Oh, he's playing Black Knight in the Eternals. There you go. Thanks, Caleb Richardson. So yeah, Kit Harington from Game of Thrones is going to be playing the Black Knight in the Eternals movie and MCU. There we are. Yeah. Mr. Roboto. So the U.S. Patriot and USA Agent both represent the worst of the USA. No, just they show that the program, the Super Soldier program, was flawed. And USA Agent, from what I remember, I believe he took crack or smoked crack or got somehow exposed to cocaine or crack or something like that, and it bonded to the Super Soldier crap in his system. So he became like a fucking Uber addict on this thing. And that's what drove him nuts. and there was no way for him to get it out of his system. Yeah. And yeah, he was a right wing. He was a much more conservative person, shall we say. Kind of a racist too, from what I remember. Yeah. So he wasn't the best person in the world. So we also have the Clone Wars. The 7th and final season is coming out in February of 2020. Now, remember, this isn't the last season that was supposed to air years ago and didn't. And now they're touting it as a new season. It's not a new season. It was actually supposed to come out. It was supposed to be the final season for Clone Wars. It never made it because Disney canceled the Clone Wars for Star Wars Rebels. Star Wars Rebels was actually not bad. It was a good show. But yeah, the Clone Wars could have actually benefited from having that last season come out, and now it is. It's going to come out. And don't be surprised if you hear that there's going to be a revival of the Clone Wars series with Dave Filoni, or a movie or something like that after this whole series comes out, because that is going to be what I believe is going to happen. Captain America was conservative as well. He just wasn't an asshole about it. Exactly, Caleb. He came from an older time. That was the whole thing where, yeah, he was a bit more conservative, but he wasn't. He was open-minded. There we go. He was a lot more open-minded. If they're going to do a live-action Ahsoka movie, I want them where it takes place after Star Wars Rebels, where her and Sabine are going out looking for Ezra and Thrawn. That's what they need to do, and move outside of the galaxy, because they, supposedly Ezra Bridger and Thrawn had, not teleported, but did that faster than light travel outside of the galaxy. So they were lost someplace out there. That's what I want to see. Do a fucking animated movie. Do a trilogy of movies with them. That's what I want to see. I don't care about this new shit that Rianne's got going on, or D&D with, their series that they've got going on. I want Filoni to sit down, write 3 movies about Ahsoka and Sabine looking for Ezra and Thrawn. That's what I want to see. Greg versus Bobby Marsha. That's pretty funny. If Obi is on Disney Plus, I can't see Ahsoka in a movie. Why not? I mean, because supposedly they are. So Miss Marvel, that is going to be in her own series, is going to cross over into the MCU movies as well, is what they said. So all these Marvel movies or Marvel series that are going on are going to be tied directly into the Marvel movies. And those characters are going to be able to go from the series to the movies and from the movies to the series. So if they're going to do that with Marvel, they can do it with Star Wars as well. From what I hear, there's a reason that Thrawn was modeled after Pierce Brosnan in that Star Wars Celebration poster, so you may be onto something. Huh. Yeah. And quite honestly, they have a new Thrawn book. I've got it sitting right here next to me. So obviously they're pushing that one hard. And, I'm not stupid. I can see this stuff coming. All you have to do is look at this stuff and see what's out there. The whole thing with Ewan McGregor in talks to be Obi-Wan last week was leading up to this, that he was already signed. When they released that info that he was in talks, he had already signed. They had already had the deal done like a month or 2 ago. And all they were trying to do was get fan anticipation up to say, oh my God, to see how it was going to be. And then go, okay, fan anticipation's high about this. Now we're going to release the news at D23 that we're doing a series on this. That's why the other thing too, Sony picked the worst time. They did it purposely to pull Spider-Man out of the MCU. They knew it was, D23 was coming up, and they knew that Marvel was going to have Spider-Man all over their advertising for Marvel and the Marvel world, Marvel, land or whatever it is that they have going on, and pulling Spider-Man out of the MCU at that point in time. What was it? A couple of days before D23? That was Sony's way of shooting at DC and trying to shoot them in the foot. And it doesn't work that way, because all Disney does is they're like, yeah, whatever. We've got plenty of other characters to fill in the holes. Fuck you, Sony. That's what they're going to do. Caleb Richardson, Pierce Brosnan was at the last Star Wars Celebration at that celebrity fans panel. He even said his favorite character was Thrawn. So I think Disney's planting the seeds around that. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. And who would you get to play Ezra Bridger then at this point? So Ezra Bridger is going to be older, of course, than he was in Rebels, because if you have it at the very end of Return of the Jedi, because that's when Ahsoka and Sabine are going off to go and search for them. Ezra's going to be probably about the same age as Luke, I guess, at that point. Is that right? Or he's going to be a little bit older than Luke. That's right. He's going to be a little bit older than Luke. Probably about 10 years older than Luke. Obviously, Idris Elba. Yeah. Exactly. No, Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson is going to play Ezra Bridger. There we go. Nope. I'm sorry. She can't play him because she's never been out into space before. So she is an alien, but she's never been out into space. Bring back Qui-Gon Jinn? No. He's dead. Yeah, Morks. I take my jabs where I can. That's my joke. It's my go-to joke all the time. Whenever someone asks about casting, like someone asked for casting on Stan Lee for like a Stan Lee movie about his life. And obviously the correct answer is Bryan Cranston, because Bryan Cranston looks exactly like him with the aviator glasses and everything. He looks like Stan Lee in a mustache. Perfect spitting image of Stan Lee. But I said Idris Elba. I said Scarlett Johansson. I go, nope, she's been disqualified because she's never been an old man before. Or Idris Elba. Because that joke never gets old. It really doesn't. It's not that I wouldn't mind Sony expanding what they have. It's the ties to the MCU. It's the ties to the MCU, and any abrupt change that's weird. You'd think there would be more planning and transition, but their greed awoke. Yeah. 20s, 30s, I would say Elijah Wood, aka Frodo. 40s, I'd say Tom Cruise. Actually, for Ezra Bridger, no, I would want somebody newer. I don't know who, quite honestly, to tell you the truth, who could actually play him and do a good job. Yeah, I'd have to think about that one. I'd have to look and do some searching online before I could give my answer on that one. Yeah, nobody I can think of off the top of my head. Tom Holland, because Tom Holland's looking for work now. I'm kidding. Sony will never let him out of his contract. He's got 2 more Spider-Man movies that he needs to do for them. Actually, Tom Holland wouldn't make a bad Ezra Bridger, to tell you the truth. No? I think he would be okay, but maybe that's just me. So one of the other things that's not Star Wars related or Marvel related that Disney Plus has announced is that they're doing a series called The Muppets Now. And it's going to come out in 2020. And supposedly it's an unscripted series. How that's going to fucking work with Muppets, I have no clue. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how that's going to work. But I'm interested to see it. I'm a big fan of the Muppets. What? No what? You talking about the What If there, Viking bitch? Because that's also going to be on Hulu. They did a little trailer for What If at the panel as well. And I'm waiting for a trailer for What If. Oh, the unscripted Muppets. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do the unscripted Muppets, quite honestly. Kermit the Frog, who I follow on Facebook, actually posted his his letter that he got that was actually edited by the lawyers at Disney, which brilliant marketing, by the way. If you ever get a chance, if you're on the Facebook, like some of us older folks are, you'll see the Muppets actually have their own page that you can follow, and they periodically put things on there. My favorite posts are, of course, from Animal, because Animal is my spirit animal. And Kermit just happened to post about this, and I started laughing. It was a good picture of the letter with stuff marked out, retracted, and all that kind of stuff, and then stamped as approved. Don't make me mute you, Fanobi. Oh, yeah. Someone's in the doghouse. Caleb Richardson. Well, the Muppets have done live stuff before. The Muppets were in the Video Game Awards last Christmas. They presented an award with Ninja. Yeah, but that's still scripted, Caleb, for the most part. All those awards things, they're not unscripted. All those supposedly unscripted shows, let's face facts. Everything that's reality TV, there's scripts involved. That's why you have writers. If you look at the end of the episodes, they have a writing group that's there. The reason why there's a writing group there is because it's scripted. There is stuff that they feed to them to get them to interact with things. They know what's going to set people off on some of those reality shows, so they have shit that's timed to set them off so they can film it. Yeah. None of that shit is unscripted. Or, otherwise it would just be people sitting around eating, smoking pot, and playing video games. Because that's pretty much what those fuckers do on those reality shows. And fucking. Excuse me. I'm in the plus region of bonus points and extra lives. Really? I haven't watched reality TV since Real World back in the day. Yeah, that was one of the first scripted reality TV shows, Dante S. I had heard about it from someone who worked on one of those shows and I think it was the Real World San Francisco. Yeah, it was the Real World San Francisco, about how there was one dude that was in there, the tall, like, I can't remember his name now. He was one of the forgettable guys. He was never in the episodes for the most part because he was always out smoking pot, and he was mellow, and he wouldn't be involved with any of the shit that was going on. So he was barely in the show. That's why he never made any money off of it afterwards, because they could never get him to do shit on camera. So they're like, yep, we're writing you out. They would send him out for pizza or something like that. The only reality TV I watch is Drag Race. Oh, Muppets and Drag. Yeah. Fanobi is in the moisture farm. That's pretty funny, Marks. Fanobi on the moisture farm. Did he jump the dewback? The real world is not real, god damn it. I know. Exactly, Dante S. Come on, they were living in a fucking like mansion in San Francisco with no jobs. No, that still isn't real in San Francisco. It'd have to be a rundown mansion, and it'd have to be full of crack addicts. And then you could say, yes, that was okay. That was real. Caleb Richardson's, aka Japanese reality TV. Has anybody seen Terrence House on Netflix? It's so chill, just them living their lives in a house with strangers. Yeah, see, that's stuff. The Japanese are too polite. They don't know how to do real like American reality TV, I should say. So it's just boring. It's them sitting around doing life, making food, sitting down, watching some TV, talking, having chill conversations. Excuse me. Morks, I want you and those droids to fix the vaporators by sundown. They'll be hell to pay. That's pretty funny. But I was going to go to Tashi Station and get some power converters with my friends. Oh, man. Let's see what else we got going on here. There's actually a lot of news this week. So, season 5 of Legends of Tomorrow are going to be the last season as series regulars for the real life couple Brandon Routh and Courtney Ford. I didn't know they were married, quite honestly. So he, of course, plays Ray Palmer, and she plays. Now I'm blanking on her name, her character name. It's a witch, and they are being written off the show. And from what I understand, is that it's not voluntary. They were not written off the show voluntarily because someone posted a whole Twitter conversation with them and Brandon Routh. Yeah, there we go. And he was not happy about it. Yeah, he said it was completely not his decision. And I have a feeling that they're actually going to be canceling the show after season 5. Quite honestly. Penn is with the Jawas. She's out with the Jawas now. She's got a restraining bolt on her. This droid has a bad motion activator. Yeah, I can't remember. It's been too long. Oh, let's see what else we've got. Here we go. We've got. Oh, this one's actually fun. February 28th, 2020. Blumhouse is going to release a quote unquote horror tinged Fantasy Island movie. Yes, that Fantasy Island that was, the TV series. It's based on the TV series. And it's originally supposed to be a TV series, and now it's going to be a movie. And supposedly the plot involves a killer running around loose on the island. It suddenly becomes Scooby-Doo. No, we don't need that. I know Michael Pena is playing Mr. Rourke. It just looks like a shit show, like a huge and total shit show. And I think Blumhouse, well, I know Blumhouse has run out of ideas, quite honestly. And for them to do this, and I think it's just them to get it out there before they lose the rights to the property, before it reverts back to whoever owned it beforehand. And that's the only reason why they're pumping this thing out as fast as they can, so they can save the rights to it. And they really don't need to. I mean, God, that's just really shitty. They're gonna. It was a good series for its time, quite honestly. Smiles, everyone, smiles. Yes, the plane. Aren't they doing a Harvey Villachez biopic or something like that with Peter Dinklage as him? Yeah, I think they are. And yeah, the Banana Splits horror movie that's coming out on Sci-Fi. You know what? I didn't even bother because I know it's coming out to Sci-Fi. It's a Sci-Fi produced horror movie, and I figured, yeah, it'll come out on Sci-Fi at some point, and I can watch it. The same thing with this Fantasy Island thing. When it comes out as a movie, it's going to hit, video on demand and direct to video within the month after it comes out. So speaking of which, The Kitchen, which was based on a DC comic that had Melissa McCarthy and Tiffany Haddish, supposedly has done so badly in the 3 weeks that it's been out. It's only made $11 million that Warner Brothers is pulling it from theaters. That's how bad it's doing. And it's the first Tiffany Haddish starring movie that's crashed and burned this bad. Yeah. I just read that last night and I started laughing because it looked like crap. I looked at the trailer for that thing, and at first I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. It's kind of a weird comic that they were doing as a movie, but sure, why not? Wow. Creed's going to be training Rocky's grandson for a high school boxing tournament. Seriously? Good Lord. Yeah, that just sounds horrible. What are the? Why don't they just have him training him for a little league tournament or something like that? You know, Creed is going to come out of retirement to train the great great grandson of Rocky Balboa so that he can win that soapbox derby. Jesus. I saw Ready or Not in the theater last week, and they had the kitchen signs up, but no movie. Nice. How was Ready or Not, by the way, Viking Bitch? I was looking at that. It looks kind of fun, but at the same time, looks kind of shitty. I was kind of waiting for that one to come out, and I'll just watch it on, one of the movie channels when it comes out. It was good. Yeah. Was it good enough to pay for a ticket, or would you say wait to cable? Because that's pretty much what I'm looking at this point. Yeah. Well, she's actually good. She is. She's one of the clones of what's her face, the one who's playing Harley Quinn, and I can't remember her name now. Because she looks exactly like her. They look like each other, and I'm pretty much sure they're from the same clone pool that have been coming out of Australia fairly recently. Yeah. Margot Robbie. There we go. She's the clone of Margot Robbie. Yeah. That is exactly it. Because it wasn't Margot Robbie. It was somebody else, wasn't it, who's playing that character? Yeah. So, some more bad news for Tom Holland. He is so I don't know if you know, but he's attached to be starring in the Uncharted movie based on the video game. And there was a director attached to it too, Dan Trachtenberg. He has now left the movie. He stepped down as director. They're in pre-production pretty much right now. They're getting ready to film. And now they're scrambling to find a replacement. And this is a Sony made movie. So Sony is doing something weird right now. I don't know what's going on at Sony hierarchy, but Sony's doing something really fucked up. And it seems like they're all against Tom Holland at the moment. I mean, they're screwing with the Spider-Man stuff. They're screwing with his Uncharted movie. I think the guy just needs to get out of Sony from under Sony's thumb. That's what's going on. I mean, he seems like a nice enough dumb guy, but though it was announced that PlayStation Studios is producing the movie instead of Columbia. Yeah, that's the other thing too, Caleb Richardson. Yeah, PlayStation Studios is producing the movie because Columbia Pictures is like, yeah, we don't want any part of this. Emma Stone, Samara Weaving. Yeah, that's her name. She was in Ash versus Evil Dead at the very end of season 1. She plays a backpacker that was out in the woods. That yeah. So that was her, Samara Weaving. And that's when I first saw her. I was like, is that Margot Robbie? And nope, it's just one of her clones that's out there. See, Margot Robbie was in such high demand, they just cloned her and pumped out another clone. I think they have another one in the works right now, and they just haven't aged her up as of yet. So next year, 2020. And that way they can have the Witches of Eastwick remake with all three of them playing the same character. Caleb Richardson, hopefully it'll be closer to the games that way. If PlayStation has creative control, it might be good. A good video game movie. Has there ever been a really good video game movie though, Caleb? Has there? Yeah, Samara Weaving's Australian, and so is Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie is Australian as well. I know people don't know this, but she is. She's Australian. Sony just bought a game developer, didn't they? Thank you, Move for Nobi, for segueing into my next segment, which is Sony just bought Insomniac Games. That's right. They've taken control of Insomniac Games, maker of that really damn good Spider-Man movie that came, Spider-Man game that came out earlier this year. And I'm kind of disappointed about that, to tell you the truth. Insomniac Games is down here in Southern California. Or actually, no, I take that back. Are they in the Bay Area? I think they're actually in the Bay Area. Sony is pretty much all up and down the Western California, all across the California seaboard right now. And they have a huge studio here in San Diego as well. I know people that work in both locations. I know people that work in all of those locations all up and down the seaboard. But yeah. Yeah. That was scripted, folks. That's right. That's right. Thank you, movie I'm sorry, I can't read that word. For your how generous whatever the fuck. I can't read that. My glasses aren't here. Oh man. I'm kidding. But yeah, Insomniac Games has done other games as well. And Movie Neighbor says, all I have to say is that Spider-Man game looked really good. Insomniac made one of my favorite OG PS3 games. My buddies and played Resistance, Fall of Man. Yeah. The Spider-Man game is awesome, by the way. I haven't played it in a while just because I haven't had any time. And I need to get back into it again because I've got another downloadable portion of the game that's I know it's loaded already, and I just haven't played it. Sony, we own most of everything Disney. No, they don't. HR. Sony wants to own everything that Disney doesn't. They're just really bad at managing their money. I did see that the design. Actually, they released pictures today of what the PS5 looks like. So Sony knows that Disney has D23 going on, so they are trying to shoot down as much Disney stuff as possible by releasing pictures of their PS5 because they've released what it's going to look like, and it looks like a weird flying V is what it looks like, inverted flying V. It's really kind of odd. Have you been on the west side lately? Have I been on the west side of what? VJAR? West side of Scotland? West side of Little Italy? West side of Hong Kong? No, I haven't. I do get around though. Los Angeles. I have not been on the west side of Los Angeles. Do they own a lot of that? I'm pretty sure they do. That's why they're moving down here to San Diego. That's why EJAR, because there's a little bit more breathing room down here. Google's supposed to be moving down this way too. Yeah. The plan is Google and Apple, from what I understand. They're trying to make this like Silicon Valley South because there's so much vacancy down here that they can actually fill. It's going to be kind of scary. I'm kind of worried about it because it's going to drive up prices like mad. It's going to be Bay Area South is what it's going to be. We really don't need that. Means I'll have to move again, damn it. Although I'll make some money off my condo. There we go. Sell a shitty condo for way more than what it needs to be. With that said, Michael Mosley has been cast as Dr. Light in season 2 of Titans for DC Universe. For those of you who don't know who Dr. Light is, Dr. Light's kind of a pretty lame-ass character, to tell you the truth. He's a lame-ass villain. And the only thing he's really known for, I should say, is what happened in a Justice League comic that kind of created a schism across the whole DC universe. It was a decision to wipe Dr. Light's mind that the heroes made, and specifically Batman, Superman, some of the Justice Leaguers. And yeah, it ended up having a whole which one is Marvel or DC? This is DC. Like I said, DC Universe, Mr. Roboto. And it created this thing. Basically, Batman condoned wiping people's minds, and that was a big no-no. It kicked off a big, huge storyline. I can't remember which one it was now offhand, but that's pretty much what Dr. Light was known for. But he's going to be in the Titans universe now, or the Titans TV show. Yeah, Batman is a gigantic prick. I mean, we see it every now and then. He, um, Brother Eye, there was that one, uh, which led to the whole OMAD project. Or is that right? Yeah. Um, the Watchtower. No one knew that he built the Watchtower until he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I got this floating fortress up above. We can use that as a headquarters." And they're like, What? Yeah. And then of course this, where he wipes the villain's mind. Yeah, and other heroes' minds as well. He uses Zatanna to do it as well, which is really kind of fucked up. Then Dr. Light became a lame Teen Titans villain. No, not really. Isn't Dr. Light kind of like Martin Freeman being in Black Panther? No. No, he's actually supposed to be playing. They're bringing a lot of characters into season 2 of Titans, movie Finobi. I'm kind of surprised. Although they're not lightening up on the dick jokes. They just released a synopsis for the season premiere of season 2 for Titans. And of course, they, what was it? The line was something about turning Dick dark. And I started laughing just because it was a dick joke that they could not get around. The way they had to say it in the sentence, because I was thinking about how can you rephrase this so it doesn't come out to be a dick joke. And I'm like, there really is no way. You actually need to say it the way it did. Well, no K in that one, Ed Brewer. Yeah, in the comics, it's Rick Grayson with RIC. But yeah, which is really stupid in and of itself. Yeah, because they got tired of all the dick jokes. That's why. I agree, Mufinobi. It was fucking hysterical because there was just no way around it. There was no way around doing a dick joke in the synopsis without being descriptive. And that's why I'm looking forward to season 2 because it's gonna be, once you go dark dick, you don't go back. Oh god, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of dick jokes, I believe, in this season. A lot of dick jokes, and a lot of them are going to be involuntary for the most part. There's another joke in there someplace too, but it's wrong. I'm not going to go with it. So, like I said, there's a lot of news going on. A lot of news going on. What else we got going on here? Even Kevin Smith is getting into the whole act here. So Kevin Smith is bringing in the Masters of the Universe animated series back to Netflix, and he's going to continue off where the original story left off in the 80s. So he is supposedly writing this along with somebody else. And yeah, they're going to be bringing this back to Netflix as an animated series. Okay. I'm not really a big, huge Masters of the Universe fan, but I might take a peek at it. So, for now, I canceled DC Universe until I see word on where Doom Patrol will return on a new service. It's coming to DC Universe, movie Finobi. It's going to be on DC Universe and HBO Max at the same time, is what they said. So it's going to be on both services. Yes. And since Titans is coming out, I've actually been watching Young Justice. If you have not watched the latest season of Young Justice, watch it. It's actually pretty good. They've been releasing an episode a week, and next week they're going to release the final 3 episodes all at once. And I'm like, okay, that's good. I'm okay with that, because then the week after is Titans starts. So that's the reason why I've kept my DC Universe subscription. Mark Bernardin is also involved, right? Yeah, that's right. You're right, Movie Finoe. He's the other writer on that one. She-Ra has had some controversy, so I think they are hoping this might strengthen the IP. Is it the whole the incel bullshit that's going on? Movie Finoe? I haven't even, I know She-Ra's out there. I really just don't like the animation style, and I don't think that it's for me. So that's why I haven't watched it. He-Man will be an offensive title. It's not He-Man, Morks. It's the Masters of the Universe. That's what it's called. The Masters of the Universe, which in of itself can be used as a porn title. So let's see. What else I got here? Yeah. Resident Evil is going to be remade as a movie. I don't know why. It just is. Didn't we have one, like a new one last year? Did we not have one last year? I can't remember offhand. I thought we did, but maybe not. So the guy who directed 47 Meters Down, the shark movie, the Jaws wannabe movie, he's going to be directing that. Johannes Roberts. And I guess he directed 47 Meters Down and the sequel that's coming out. And The Strangers Pray at Night, whatever the hell that was. So yeah, he's going to be doing Resident Evil, the final chapter. No, actually, Resident Evil is all it's going to be. It's just going to be redone. Why? I have no freaking clue. Oh, I know, because Sony's probably involved. Yeah. And again, Sony has nothing new to add to the game because they really don't have any IP properties other than what they can steal. I mean, not work well with other people on. Yeah. Not happy about Sony, quite honestly, right now. I thought Resident Evil was a whole series of movies. They were, but I think the last one was out like last year with, I think it was supposed to be the last one with Mila Jovovich or something like that. I also don't care for, like I said, Mufinobi, the whole She-Ra animation style just is like, ugh. And I'm not the audience for that. I never was for the original either, so I'm okay with that. Also, He-Man was one of my least watched cartoons. More Thundercats, Voltron, and other. You know what? There was a Thundercats comic book that came out. I want to say in the early 2000s, maybe the late 90s, that showed Mumra winning. And something happened with Lionel where he ended up in another stasis cocoon or something like that. And it left the other Thundercats by themselves. And they ended up Mumra won, and it was pretty fucked up. I mean, it was an adult version of Thundercats, and it was good. It was really good. I would see that as a series, quite honestly, if they could do that. Silverhawks was good too. Silverhawks was fun. It's funny that Sony is making these decisions after Amy Pascal left, though she's still involved with Spider-Man. Well, she's involved with Universal, who she's actually at Universal, but she still attaches producer to Spider-Man. Yeah, it's adult, Ejar. It's very adult. That's all I can say. You have to read it in order to see what I mean. The never learned lesson: only remake movies that are terrible because you can only go up. Never remake movies that are great because the original will be better. Exactly. Thank you, Michael Caine. Michael Caine actually said that. He goes, never remake good movies. Always remake bad movies. And Michael Caine should know because he's been in some bad movies. He was in Jaws 3. That's all I can say. Jaws 3 was a fucking horrible movie. That was the 3D Jaws, by the way, at a aquarium or something like that. Yeah, it was an aquarium. God, good God. Mike L. Caine. I don't know what that. Michael Caine. Michael Caine. They usually make those sort of movies in Chatsworth. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Coming towards the end of my list of stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that came out this week. HBO Max has ordered 2 series. Excuse me, I don't know why they've done this. A prequel. Yes, that's a series to a prequel of a 1990s Sandra Bullock movie called Practical Magic, for those of you who remember that shitty movie. If I remember correctly, that movie was okay. It did an okay job at the box office, but not enough where it wanted a sequel or even a prequel. I have no idea why in the hell someone at HBO Max has ordered a series something on that. I know Viking Bitch knows about the book and said that that the book was interesting but doesn't warrant a series. And I agree. It's why are we doing this? Yeah, as Viking Bitch says, this is such a dumb idea. The movie was based on a book, so the prequel is completely made up. Yeah. Well, they're probably trying to get around the book rights, is what they're doing. Some way, somehow, who knows? I want HBO to bring back late night series. Damn management change. Yeah, they try to go all respectable and shit for some reason after AT&T took over. Like AT&T, I mean, God, AT&T is probably, I was going to say something bad, like going from, one pimp to a lesser pimp on that one. But yeah. But there we go. I remember seeing Jaws 3 in 3D. It was truly terrible. Exactly, Viking Bitch. That's what I mean. Yeah. I agree with you guys. It's they need to stop remaking shit or making prequels to really bad, Okay, leave the movies that were 20, 30, 40 years ago alone. Stop making prequels and sequels to them. Again, there is so much stuff out there that are in books that haven't been touched yet. Go and grab a new idea. I know it's scary. You don't know how it's going to track because people don't know what it is. Take a fucking chance. You don't need to spend $150 million on a movie. All you need to do is you can make a good movie for $30 million and you will get that money back as long as it's good. Quite honestly. Yeah. The only pimps in here are me, Morks, and Dennis, but we are benevolent pimps. My pimp hand is strong, by the way, just so you know. I still remember Mike Epps. I can't remember what series of films he was in, but he played this pimp called Powder, who would always put baby powder in his hand before he smacked somebody. It was a comedy, by the way. And it always makes me laugh. And he would leave a mark. It would be this big baby powdered handprint on someone's face. How high? Thank you, Dante S. He was also he played the same pimp in like 2 other movies as well. Dante S. It wasn't just How High, but there was 2 others that weren't related to How High, believe it or not. I was kind of surprised when he popped up. I'm like, holy shit, it's a character that he plays. All right, that's nice. I did see the Dolomite trailer. I didn't put that in. I forgot to put that in. I'm actually looking forward to the Dolomite trailer, by the way. Yeah. And yeah, Eddie Murphy. I mean, just the cast of actors that are in Dolomite looks fucking awesome. And it's on Netflix. It really is going to be on Netflix. And yeah, it's kind of weird though that Eddie Murphy's doing this instead of a movie. I know he's working on Coming to America, Coming and the number 2 America. It's the sequel to Coming to America. Yeah. They've been working on that for the longest damn time. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Dolomite trailer. Yeah, the Dolomite movie. Dolomite is My Name is what it's called. Dolomite is My Name. If you get a chance to see the trailer, take a look at the trailer. His career is definitely okay. I mean, I'm just wondering why he hasn't come out and done something else, something good. He's funny. He's actually still funny. He just needs to have the right vehicle, I guess. I don't know if Kevin Hart's been taking all of his movie roles that he needs or what's going on. because that's pretty much all Kevin Hart's been doing is he's been taking the place of Eddie Murphy's stuff. I know he's really rich to, well, he's got, what is it? He's got something like he's got a lot of kids. I know that, and I think he's just enjoying that kind of life right now, hanging out with the kids, and I think he's got grandkids now too, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I understand, but still, I mean, we want to see our our actors that we like out there, and this looks like it's gonna be a fun movie. So, any news from the Trek universe? Thank God, no. No one cares, quite honestly. So, what else do I have? I've got one last item. Agent King is coming to Netflix from Priscilla Presley. It's an animated, adult-oriented comedy about Elvis as a secret agent. I can't make that up. So, yes, Agent King is coming to Netflix, and Priscilla Presley is the one who had the idea for it with somebody else, too. I can't remember who. I believe it's from the people that were doing Archer. That's what it was. The guy who created Archer is in that with her, or in it, the planning of that with her. That's going to be kind of interesting. And I don't know. That sounds like a train wreck. I wonder if it'll be so bad it's good. I can see it being pretty damn good, Viking Bitch. If you do it in the period of the 50s or the 60s and make it a period piece, and also do the animation in the same kind of vein, which the guy from Archer can do. I know that. I could see it being pretty damn good and actually catching on and getting a following. But again, you have to be kind of dead on this. I mean, you a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right of it, of the target, and yeah, it's going to. Archer, I didn't like at all. I'm not a big fan of Archer. I tried watching it. I'm a huge fan of animation. Archer, for some reason, just rubs me raw. I don't know what it is. Something wrong about it for me. And I like C-Lab 2020, which is the same kind of animation style, that kind of thing. I understand Archer's not bad. It's not for me. The Iron Heel is where I would start. I don't know what the Iron Heel is, Ejar. Elvis was an FBI agent or got a badge before he died. Yeah, that's the rumor, Mr. Roboto. And that's what they're rolling with on this one. Eddie's very family oriented, and he lost faith in his comedy because they laughed at everything. Now he's returning to some projects. Saw some article where he was with Seinfeld. Oh, interesting. Archer is Dennis Lana. I don't think so, quite honestly. Doesn't work out that way. Elvis pulling a gun out on stage, swinging his hips in Hawaii with a lei around his neck. Look up Iron Heel, Ejar. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Dennis enjoyed Sequest DSV. I did not. I enjoyed Sequest DSV as much as you enjoyed Cloak and Dagger. Which is to say, I loved it. Yeah, C-Lab 2020 was good. Especially Eric Estrada doing one of the voices, man, was hilarious. His character it was pretty damn funny. I actually saw Eric Estrada one year at Comic-Con. I believe it was for C-Lab 2020. He was there. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was for something else. He was doing like a low-budget movie. I don't think so, Morks. Not according to Movie Fanobi. Movie Fanobi says that Cloak and Dagger is better than Farscape. Oh, yeah. There we go. Chips back in the day? Yeah, I would watch that. Not the movie, but no, I did not even attempt the movie. It looked like shit. Michael Pena has been in a lot of really shitty things. I'll just say that right now. He needs to get a better agent, or he needs to read scripts a little bit better. Be a little more discerning when he reads those scripts. Because he was in something on Netflix that was it looked like it was going to be a good movie, and it was just really horrible. He's actually attached to another movie. I can't remember what it is, and about an alien invasion and all that stuff. And that hasn't. It was announced. He was filming it. I know it's in the can, and I haven't heard of a release date on that one either. I like Michael Pena as an actor. He's a great actor. He's a lot of fun. But again, he needs to be in the right vehicle in order for him to shine. And he's been doing a lot of really bad decisions on some of the stuff. So that's all I got for, news-wise at the moment. Let's see. All right, let's do a little bit of business here. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You can hit the dislike button. I just ask you to go down in the comment section down below. Tell me what it is you don't like. Give me some constructive criticism about the show. If you want to see when I'm be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. Don't hit it again. If you've already hit it once before, it will unclick it. You can go to the bell settings and get as little or as many notifications as you want. I also have my schedule up on suspendedfanimation.com. You can take a look at my schedule there. It's also mirrored on my Facebook page. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, I have a Patreon page, but I don't have any tiers set up as of yet. So, with that said, tomorrow is going to be Preacher. Monday, I still haven't gotten anything. I'm not kicking people out. I'm just doing a little bit of business. We had a little bit of a lull going on here. I've been on for an hour and a half, Ejar. You just came in. I still haven't gotten a consensus from everybody. You want me to do the last 3 boy episodes, all the boys episodes next week? I can do that and do them all in 1 week, or I can still do them a week by week if you want me to do it that way. What's the consensus on that? You guys had a day to decide, or actually a couple hours to decide anyway. Yeah. I'm not going to flip a coin, Mr. Roboto. Ejar, what's yes? Is it yes to the all next week or once a week? And yes, happy belated birthday to Viking Bitch, who has turned a lovely 24 years old. Or is that 42? No. I don't know. I'm dyslexic on numbers, I guess, is what's going on. Yes, Ejar, you need to be a little more specific. Thanks, Ejar. I might just do them all next week, and that way it just gets done. That way you can all suffer afterwards. And thank you to everybody who joined me today in the chat and tortured me as well. Agent Future, all next week. Thank you, Agent Future, because Agent Future actually said something. I'm going to do them all next week. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for making the decision. The executive decision there, Agent Future. That makes it a lot easier. I am not taking a break. I'm just going to go right through them. Kind of like Taco Bell goes through your... No. Hey, Joe. You showed up at the last minute just as I'm getting ready to, wind things down here a bit. Yeah. So, I know there's going to be some more D23 news that are out there. Hey, no problem, Ejar. Thanks for watching. The Preacher has been the greatest last season here, but we'll see what happens. Do you want to know what I get when I go to Taco Bell? I'm gonna guess gastrointestinal pain. There we go. Yeah. Usually the gastrointestinal pain comes first, and then you get that. Works. Yeah. I am not going to do Filler House, Mr. Roboto, because it's not genre. Yeah. Again, I do genre shows, so sci-fi, fantasy, sometimes horror. Actually, Taco Bell is believe it or not, uses a lot more filler. So they use plant products a lot more. So believe it or not, and this has been proven, it's supposed to be healthier for you than all the other fast foods that are out there, Joe. They're not rat fillers, they are plant fillers. Speaking of which, so I actually tried the Impossible Burger. So the one at Burger King is kind of, I mean, okay, granted, between Beyond Meat and the Impossible Meat, I will take the Impossible Meat anytime over the Beyond Meat. The Beyond Meat tastes like ass. That's all I'm gonna say. Not that I know what ass tastes like. It just that's what I imagined ass would taste like if the Beyond Meat. Impossible Meat, on the other hand, I actually tried this. We have a place up here, like a burger, like a family-owned burger place that actually does it. That makes Impossible Meat as well. They sell Impossible Meat, and it's actually pretty good. The Impossible Burger is not bad. I'll admit it's kind of tasty. Clean ass or sweaty ass? I would say dirty ass, Morks. That's what I'll say right there. Yes, I am going to watch the Dark Crystal prequel, Agent Future. I am going to be covering the Dark Crystal prequel week by week is what I'm going to do. So I'm actually going to be doing a breakdown. Let me grab the magic book here. It's buried under some stuff. Oh no. There we go. Don't want to knock some stuff down. Or hit the let me see what I've got here. What does a good book say here? I need my glasses because otherwise I can't see shit. Okay. So for this week, of course, being the 24th, we've got SBO. We have Preacher, of course, on Sunday. And I'm going to do The Boys. There we go. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to actually put it in right now. The Boys, episode 6 on Monday. The Boys, episode 7 on Tuesday. And the final episode of The Boys, episode 8, on Friday. And Wu Assassins, the second half of the season, is going to be on Wednesday. And then, of course, the day after Labor Day is when the Dark Crystal episode 1 is going to happen. And I'm also going to be doing Carnival Row. And Titans also starts up that week as well. Leaving Thursdays open. Yeah. Nice. And remember, I'm also going to be doing the contest drawing for the boys as well. So that is going to happen probably the week of Labor Day week. The boys every day now. Yeah, Wu Assassins is actually pretty good. I was surprised. I really was. I'm still waiting for the franchise wars, Demolition Man promised, where all is Taco Bell. That's not going to happen, but I believe it's going to be the movie studio wars, where everything is going to become Disney. Everything is Disney. What's the prize, Morks? Well, for the boys, it was a big foam middle finger that I got from the boys' fan premiere party that they did. Yes. And that's the first place prize. The second place prize is this boy's coin, which you probably can or cannot see. That's from Amazon. And I think I'm going to give away a third prize here, which is just going to be something kind of simple. This is actually my wristband that I had from the premiere party of the boys as well. Yeah. How long till I reach monetization? That's going to be when I hit 1,000 subscribers. Right now, I'm at 345. Yeah. So once I hit 1,000 subscribers, then I can actually get some monetization out of that. I've already got the hours. I mean, I've already got the watch hours, and people have already watched well over the 4,500 that I need. So I just need the people to come in. So tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell everybody to sign on up and subscribe. Yeah. Oh, is everyone gone now, or what's going on here? It seems like some people have left. I think that Viking Bitch and Moof and Nebby left already. Either that or they're just lurking. But yeah, I'll let you guys go because it is now, what is it? I've been here for an hour and 40 minutes. I think that's plenty of time. If you do tiers on Patreon, I can pay you $1. Yeah, I know, Joe. I've been pretty bad about Patreon. I need a little bit of time where like I said, I need a pocket universe I can work in and get shit done, because I actually had ideas for a t-shirt, buttons, all this kind of stuff. I just need some time where I can sit down and actually put shit together, you know? But I have that pesky work thing that's in the way and the real world stuff. And I got a little dog that's hiding around here someplace that's, also demanding of my time. But with that said, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you're still on the fence about joining up, you're going to see a video pop up here that's going to take a video from my vast video library and make it just for you there. You're also going to see last night's video of the boys up here. And other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow for Preacher. Sorry, I was hearing something kind of weird. I thought it was a dog choking on something for a second there. Have a good rest of your Saturday, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Preacher. Thank you, everybody who joined me in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. Everybody have a good weekend. Thanks, Marks. You have a good weekend as well, and I will see you tomorrow. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, Disney will own you, and Sony will take you out of the Marvel universe altogether. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.